What's up, everybody? Keith here with Parts Counter Gurus. Today we are going to take a look at the Geyser Systems portable camp shower for you outdoors and overland types. This is a good contender for a portable camp shower product. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you some suggestions on who I think it's good for, who it's not a good fit for, and whether or not I think it's worth the price point, as well as a suggestion on whether or not to go with the heated model. There are two versions of this, and we'll talk about the differences in those, as well as getting into some of the features that this thing can do, and that starts right now. All right, so I've got the unit sitting outside of the shower here just to show you a couple of the features. Let's start with this quick disconnect spray hose, which is right here. And then we've got this fighter pilot style on-off pump button so that you can't accidentally bump it. You've got your warning if the water is too hot, it'll cut the pump off. Your optimal 95 degree, and then you can see right now it's below 95. There is a low water warning light and of course power. I do put this in the shower with me. It's okay to do that, and that way I can see that light and know that I'm just about out of water. And then this is a threaded fill cap. Now we'll come back to this in just a second, but this is going to be the area where you actually pour your water. And so, yeah, that's what it looks like. And you can see here that I've got a shower booth set up, right? So I will just literally take that thing and put it inside the shower booth with me. All right, and you can see here I've got a Coleman stove going, and I'm heating some water. I'm boiling some water. It is okay to boil water for this because you're going to mix this boiled water with 2 regular liters of air temperature, room temperature water. Okay, so one of the reasons that I chose to go with the unheated version, or the version of the Geyser here that doesn't offer to heat the water in its own system, is because if you're camping, you typically already have access to a cook surface, and I felt like it was a little bit overkill for the extra price, and it's a much steeper battery drain on whatever battery you're pulling off of to use the heated system. So by comparison or contrast, I've got a cook stove that I can use, like a Coleman stove or a jet boil or something like that I've got sitting right over here. That's why I looked over there, that I can use to heat my water, and I'm not pulling battery down for hot water when I already have access to that. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I am running this Geyser off of the 12-volt power supply. This is the plug right here on my Goal Zero. You can use an external battery pack. It'll do just fine. Again, I am not using the heated version. You can also run this off of your vehicle, but Geyser warns you, make sure your vehicle is running because it could drain that vehicle very quickly, and you don't want to be in a situation where you can't start your car after camping. So that's why I carry a separate battery pack. This is what the 12-volt plug looks like, and it's a pretty long cable that I'm able to run all the way over to my shower. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you here. I've got my water that I just pulled off my camp stove. It's pretty hot, and I'm just going to pour it straight into the tank here. So here we go. All right, that's piping hot water right there. Okay, and I already had a little bit of water in there, so this is going to fill it to the top. And then I'll give you a close-up here in just a second, and you can see that I've got it all the way up. So if I give you a closer view here, you can see that now that 95 degrees Fahrenheit light is on, which tells me that I'm just right and just ready. The water temperature is just right for shower time. So make sure this is tight. I'm going to carry that in the shower, and I'm going to get naked.
A few moments later.
All right, let me give you a look here of the actual sponge system. This is how it works. There's a quick disconnect here with a flow valve. That's a quarter turn valve that you can twist, as you can see there, to cut the water flow on and off. And then that'll help you use a little less water as you saturate the sponge, which is attached at this end. It has a soft side and a little bit more of an abrasive side. And that, of course, connects down into the system right here. All right, quick pro tip. When you are done, you can empty the water reservoir and store all your cords and hoses right inside and carry with the handle on the back. All right, so one thing I do want to mention, guys, is, and this is another reason why I like to put the Geyser in the shower area with me, you're going to go through this water pretty quickly. And I do like to have my extra water container handy and within arm's reach so that if I run out or I start to get low, I can add to it. It is pretty tricky to get that cap off once you've heated the water and pressurized the pump. So I did find that if you release the quick disconnect on the spray nozzle, where it connects into the geyser at the base, it will help you release the pressure, and then you can screw that cap off to fill the water. All right, so one of the things that I'll mention that's a strong positive for me with this system is its ease of use. So I've used all kinds of portable camp shower systems. I've used the kind that you fill up a bag and you pump with your foot, and they're all have their pros and cons. As long as you have access to a power source to supply this, and let's be honest, those are pretty readily available now in most camp gear outfits, you're going to be in pretty good shape to use this, and you don't have to worry about pumping anything manually, and you can keep an eye on the water level. All positives. One of the things that I was less than thrilled about was that the sponge attachment broke at the point of quick connect or disconnect on the first use. And it appears to me that the design could be improved upon a little bit. It's really thin plastic. That said, those parts are easy to come by. You're going to want to carry a couple replacements anyway for other members of your family. And so those sponges are something you should already have on hand, but it would be nice if they were a little bit sturdier. I love the hot indicator on the system that told me basically that I wasn't going to burn myself, because let's be honest, nobody likes getting that surprise when you're in the shower. The fact that the whole system is waterproof is a strong positive. I can keep it in the shower with me and keep an eye on it. I love that. It is easy to go through the water, and while Geyser does like to tell you that it's possible to get clean with that 1 gallon of water, realistically, most of you are going to need to use more than a single gallon. So just have a jug on hand and be willing to take a little bit of a cooler shower if needed to finish rinsing off. I do think it's worth it for the money. It's a little bit pricier than some of the manual systems out there, but it's a whole lot less hassle and it's way more reliable. And for the money, I think it's worth it. I personally would not go after the heated version of this, as I mentioned before, because you're going to have a heat source on hand in most cases when you're camping. And using that system to heat the water is going to do two things. It's going to drain your battery fast. It's also going to take longer to heat than if you would just boil water on a camp stove. All right, guys, a couple things I want to mention before we wrap. First of all, this was a 100% unpaid review, meaning I went out, bought this product with my own money, not getting anything from Geyser to review it. So it's an honest review. And I will say it would help us out a little bit if you do use the link in the description. If you're interested in buying one of these, please do that. And also, thank you guys for watching. If this was at all helpful for you, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Follow us on our website at partscounterguru.com. We've got all our social links, and you can find our podcast there as well. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.